Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and today we're going to be talking about something other than stocks. As of this past weekend, my household is now the owner of a new vehicle, and with that in mind, there is now a new car payment. And as someone who is involved in the financial world, I am very familiar with different loan types, different approaches, and I wanted to highlight just a few of the common mistakes that, as someone who's in the financial world, see when people are looking at vehicles, and showcase some of the different ways that you can get caught up on some of those additional fees. So that being said, today I have pulled up calculator.net to talk about auto loan calculators. I'll put this link in the description so that you're capable of going out and seeing this type of information. But the important thing is going to be, I like the fact that they have an amortization graph. This is simply what your payments are going to over time. So when you are getting a loan of really any type, you are going to be getting a set fixed fee or monthly payment, and that's what you can see here, that $497.87. That is something that they are going to heavily focus on. If you are going to a dealer, they are going to say this is going to be a payment, and you are going to say yes, I can afford that, despite the fact that there is going to be a cost associated with some of the different selections. So let's illustrate that today. Feel free to ask questions in the comment below. I'm pretty responsive. So let's get down into it. So the car that I'm going to be looking at is $25,000. The loan term is going to be 48 months. The interest rate, I just used one of the average interest rates that was on one of the other websites. However, I do think that depending on the vehicle, you should be able to get underneath a 4% interest rate depending on your credit score. And I would not encourage anyone to do higher than a, say, 5% interest rate. I promise you that means that that is a vehicle that you cannot afford under the current interest rate environment. We've got a down payment that is going to be $5,000, assuming there's no trade-in. And I am located in Georgia, so that's the state that I used, and we have sales tax. I've also put in $300 of title, registration, and other fees. Admittedly, Georgia does have a very high ad valorem tax, which is what you would generally pay when you are registering your vehicle on a year-by-year basis. What we're looking at doing is Georgia will actually take all of that up front, so it's generally a little bit more expensive. And I'm wrapping all of that up in a nice pretty bow for the loan. As you can see, this is a $500 a month car payment, which most people believe is fairly reasonable. And you can see that over the course of that loan repayment, if you go the full extent, you're going to see that you are paying $1,847.67 in interest. So it's not terrible. Again, 4% is not a terrible amount, especially when you are paying that over 4 years. However, as you can recognize, you're still adding on 8%, or right at 7.7% of these total payments are coming in as interest, which is a lot higher than that total of 4% that you originally bargained for. And that's just how the overall breakdown is made. As you can see right here, over time, you see these interest payments are slowly starting to creep up as the balance of the loan goes down. So your payment, the more of your payment that is being made, so right from the get-go, as we are totally paying it off, the less and less you are actually getting to take care of. Let me showcase kind of the annual schedule right here. The first year, you're going to essentially pay the bulk of your interest, again, because the most of that is going to be from the interest payment that you can see right here, as well as then as over time, that interest rate goes down, and you can see that more clearly here. This schedule that you see here is being what's represented here. The way that people will get you is they say that it is okay to pay a higher interest rate because banks are going to charge a higher interest rate the farther out you go. So if your interest rate is 4.5%, as you can see, my monthly payment is now over $500. Well, if I say, hey, I want my payment to be under $500 because I want something more affordable, they're going to encourage you to go to a 60-month repayment plan. So as you can see, by plugging in those numbers, I've actually dropped my payment, despite going up 0.5% by another $90 from where I originally started, or approximately $90. However, just to reiterate what we were just looking at, so the loan price or the car price and the down payment and the sales tax and fees are all the same, but just by adding on those 12 months and half an interest rate point, you can see that my monthly payment dropped, but my overall total loan has gone up. And that means that the total cost of this vehicle has also gone up. So despite the fact that my price has dropped, I am now paying more and more money in loan interest payments. So this is what I want to encourage you to do, is that the sooner you can pay your vehicle off, the better off you will be, and the less likely that you are going to be of paying additional interest payments above and over. Now, recognizing that you can also get a 60-month car payment and you don't have to just pay the $400, I do recognize that. This is just something that I think if you make the sacrifice of going ahead and getting to a 36-month car payment, which will probably give you a 3.5% interest rate, you can see that that payment and overall cost of the vehicle drops as well. Despite the fact that these graphs continue to stay the same, you can see that you're paying a lower interest and overall a lower cost. You're saving nearly $1,500 using this option. Under no circumstances should you ever be looking at a higher interest rate, like I said, than like right at 5%. That means that you're purchasing a vehicle that under normal conditions you can't afford, and so the bank is charging a premium. So for example, in an interest rate environment where you say, I would like an 8% vehicle and I would like that over 72 months, which I promise everyone this is a real thing, you can see that you are now paying a total of nearly $33,000 for a $25,000 vehicle that is not going to be worth that much at the end of your 6 years that you're looking at. So be aware of that. Lastly, I will show you the 84-month lease purchase because that's coming back. You're now nearly paying $7,000, and a quarter of that is really going to be down to interest. So keep all that in mind. Come check out the website, play with it a little bit. A lot of other websites have good graphs as well. Just wanted to highlight some of the hidden fees and interest payments that you're going to be making the farther out you go, and obviously the higher the interest rate. So if you found this content helpful, please leave a like below, and thank you all for watching.